Okay. All right, folks. Hey, have you heard about Cops, the show? You know, the ride-along show, Cops, seeing what they go through. It's been canceled. And so has Live PD. That was like a newer, slightly better version of Cops. It was on A&E, Dan Abrams' project. You know that guy? This is a very popular show, one of the biggest shows on cable. But in the aftermath of, well, these protests and George Floyd's death and everything else that's going on, it's been canceled along with a lot of other things and perhaps some people. A lot of folks, though, don't realize that this program did a lot of good. They emphasized finding missing children. And over the years, they were able to locate about 50 missing kids. They did that. And now that won't happen anymore. I want to bring in Angeline Hartmann. She is a communications director for the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Welcome. Nice to see you, Angeline. Thanks for being here.
Hi, Greg. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Sure thing. You know what? I must admit, I watched Live PD. I saw the ride-alongs. I saw, chasing bad guys. I was unfamiliar with this aspect of the missing kids, but they did dedicate a significant portion of the program to finding kids who were missing. How badly will your organization be affected now?
I mean, it's a sad day for missing kids across this country, because I don't think people realize that we have almost 500,000 missing kids in the United States. And Live PD was a huge platform for us, Greg. Once a week, they devoted a segment just for missing kids. And people don't realize that it's hard to get attention for these children. We don't just say, hey, here's a missing kid, and then you put it on the news. You know that. So sometimes some kids get more attention than others, and Live PD would leave it to us, the National Center, to say, here's a kid that needs the attention. A lot of times these were children who were ignored in their own communities for whatever reason, did not get attention, and Live PD would take our lead and introduce their audience to our missing children. And this is more than just a show, because the Live PD following is huge. And so they would not only watch the show and meet the children, but even before the segments were finished, they take pictures of the television and start tweeting that out and sharing that on social media. So before our segments were finished, before Tom, the analyst on the show, Tom Morris, and I would talk about a missing child, that picture of that child would already be shared over and over again. And so this was a big deal for us at the National Center, and to lose this platform is a huge deal.
I'm very sorry. And I think it was a decision made in haste, and I don't think they realized. I think some of the people calling for its cancellation had never seen the show. I want to put this graphic up.
That's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good point. We are seeing that on social media. People saying, "Oh, I didn't even realize," and they're criticizing the show, but had no idea some of the good things that it was doing, and namely finding missing children. That's an amazing statistic. We profiled more than 100 children on that show, Greg, and more than half of them have been recovered. So.
That's a great batting average. I want to put up a screen here. These 500 missing kids, 500,000 missing kids right now in America, correct?
Almost 500,000. Yeah, it's about 460,000.
Let's put up the full screen about all the calls that come in. Almost 17 million calls to the tip line. And again, as you mentioned, 100 missing kids featured on Live PD. And yeah, if you Google it, it's all over the place for the last couple of years. Missing girl found safe and sound. Sometimes the results weren't successful or weren't happy, but at least some families received closure. Really sorry. Hey, who knows? You know what I mean? These things come and go, and maybe you'll come back. In the meantime, we should plug missingkids.org. That's your organization. Anyone can get involved and help out.
Yeah, we want to let people know that even though, Live PD is just one of the shows, it's our job at the National Center to get the most attention that we can for all of these children. And so Live PD is just one outlet, and it was very dedicated, and its audience is very dedicated. So that's a big hit for us, Greg. But anybody out there can go to missingkids.org and look up the children who are missing in their community and share that on social media. Do something about it, because people are looking to get involved. They want to do something. Well, then do something. Go on our website and do what you can to help these missing kids.
Terrific. Thank you very much. By the way, we should check out your podcast as well. I intend to. I've gotten into podcasts recently. It's called Inside Crime. Angeline Hartmann, thank you very much.
Thanks, Greg. Appreciate it.
You bet. You bet.